Welcome to the Mystery and History channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. The portable respirator, called an iron lung, was a crucial medical advance in the 1950s, allowing polio patients to breathe at home during recovery. In 1955, this device represented hope during an outbreak that affected the medical world. Heinrich Himmler and Sagardia Ramos visited reserved NKVD spaces in Barcelona on October 23, 1940, designed by surrealist artist Alphonse Lorenzich to psychologically affect detainees. This use of art reveals severe practices in Spain during the Civil War and World War II. Bunny Yeager stood out in the 1950s as a photographer and model, pioneering the popularization of pin-up images that celebrated feminine beauty in a bold and elegant way. Her career consolidated the vintage bikini aesthetic, making her a reference in swimwear photography. During the Winter War between Finland and the Soviet Union in 1939, a Russian agent was photographed on Finnish soil before receiving his sentence. The historic photo shows his defiant smile moments before the outcome, symbolizing resistance amid tension between the two countries. Dr. Harvey Cushing revolutionized neurological treatment in the early 20th century by documenting patients, such as this child, with a visible procedure mark. His photographs and advances allowed better understanding of brain conditions, consolidating his influence in neurosurgery. The Hindenburg Zeppelin represented the peak of the airship era, standing out for technology advanced for its time. In 1936, its flight symbolized luxury and progress in aviation. The following year, the 1937 disaster marked the end of that phase in air transport history. A confidential testimony took place in Washington in 1952 when a man covered by a sheet with cutouts for the eyes testified in a formal setting, revealing sensitive government issues and secret accounts during the Cold War without exposing his identity. The D-Day operation on June 6, 1944, marked the beginning of the liberation of Western Europe from German control in World War II. Allied forces landed on the beaches of Normandy amid major challenges, a decisive event that changed the course of that period. On June 21, 1984, visitors enjoyed the observation deck at the top of the South Tower of the World Trade Center, looking out toward Midtown Manhattan. At the time, the complex was a landmark of modern architecture and an economic symbol of New York, until the events of 2001. Sean Flynn, a photographer and son of actor Errol Flynn, became known for documenting violent conflicts in the 1960s. In 1970, he disappeared in Cambodia while covering the Vietnam War, an event that shaped his legacy in world photojournalism. Jane Mansfield appeared in 1965 on the Alfred Hitchcock Hour, a renowned program that marked American television with suspense and mystery. Mansfield, a 1960s icon, moved from film to television, solidifying her cultural presence until her early death in 1967. In 1974, the Los Alamos Nuclear Center was one of the main nuclear research centers in the United States, maintaining its importance since the Manhattan Project. It advanced experiments and improvements related to defense and energy, influencing the technological landscape of the Cold War. The gathered Soviet soldiers celebrate the overthrow of the Provisional Government on November 7, 1917, a milestone of the Russian Revolution that established the communist regime. This event triggered deep political and social transformation, aligning Russia with the Soviet system for decades. American military personnel in Okinawa heard the news of Germany's surrender in World War II on May 8, 1945, marking the end of operations in Europe. While the Pacific Campaign continued, this moment brought hope and a crucial turning point for the Allies. The crew of a German U-boat submarine enjoyed a rare moment to swim in the Atlantic Ocean in 1944 during World War II. Such moments contrasted with the intense routine of combat and patrol, essential to attempts to disrupt Allied sea routes. Indian soldiers arrived in France in 1914 to fight in World War I as part of British colonial troops. Wearing turbans and distinctive uniforms, they took part in battles on the Western Front, contributing to the Allied effort in a conflict that changed borders. Kylie Minogue, a pop icon of the 1990s, was consolidating her career after success, with hits such as The Locomotion. In 1992, she symbolized the transition from 1980s pop culture to a new musical and visual era, reflecting changes in the entertainment industry. The farewell ceremony for Felix Dzerzhinsky in July 1926 brought together Soviet leaders such as Stalin and Trotsky, whose rivalry would mark the history of the Soviet Union. Soon afterward, Stalin consolidated power, removing political rivals present at the ceremony such as Trotsky, Kamenev, and Zinoviev. During the Great Depression in the 1930s, millions of workers in the United States faced severe economic hardship, as shown by this man with a Social Security tattoo, a symbol of early New Deal public policies designed to reduce the effects of that critical period. Jack, a baboon who helped on a South African railway, represents a time when animals were trained for manual tasks, such as operating track control mechanisms, before automation. His work took place in the early 20th century, highlighting unusual practices in transportation. Bobby Leach was the second man to survive the challenge of going over Niagara Falls in a barrel, a symbol of the adventurous spirit of the early 20th century. In 1911, he did not survive after slipping on an orange peel, showing the contrast between adventure and unpredictable fate. Samuel Dixon made a daring crossing over the Niagara Gorge in 1890, balancing on a rope between Ontario and New York. In the early 20th century, male daring appeared in risky acts, such as balancing on the edge of tall buildings in New York, a symbol of rapid urbanization. This practice, captured in 1900, reflected the search for courage and spectacle during the metropolis's transformation. In 1966, 5 megabytes of data occupied a huge physical space, illustrated by the stack of magnetic tapes beside the woman in the photograph. At that time, digital storage was limited and depended on bulky devices, reflecting the challenges of early computing. In St. Petersburg in 1924, a human chess game was held with uniformed participants, some on horseback, representing pieces on a giant board painted on the ground. At the 1964 New York World's Fair, the Uni-Royal giant tire stood out as a work that joined engineering and entertainment, turning a giant tire into a Ferris wheel with red cabins, symbolizing American industrial progress during a period of technological optimism. Felix the Cat debuted as a giant balloon in the Thanksgiving Day Parade in 1927, marking one of the first appearances of animated characters at public events in the United States. This tradition helped establish the parade as a popular and culturally significant annual event. Alan B. Hazard, a NASA engineer, presented a pioneering spacesuit prototype in the 1950s, marking a crucial step in the development of equipment for space exploration. This advance contributed to crewed missions in the following decade. The installation of the Space Needle support fins in Seattle in 1961 was a crucial stage in building the symbol of the 1962 World's Fair, whose futuristic structure marked 20th century urban design and architectural innovation. Workers faced major challenges raising the 605-foot. Helen Mirren, at age 20, played Cleopatra in a 1965 stage production, marking the beginning of her theater career. The character, Queen of Ancient Egypt, is a symbol of power and seduction, often revisited in the performing arts because of her historical influence. The construction of Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro, begun in 1926 and completed in 1931, became a landmark of Brazilian national identity. The 98-foot Art Deco sculpture symbolizes the country's religious syncretism and hospitality, attracting visitors and becoming a world icon. The opening of the Panama Canal in 1914 revolutionized world trade by linking the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, reducing sailing time between continents. The project required engineering advances and became crucial to global transportation. The construction of the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, begun in 1882 and taken over by Gaudí in 1883, was advancing in 1905 with tall towers and scaffolding. The work became a symbol of Catalan modernism, joining Gothic and innovative elements and reflecting Gaudí's singularity. The Klondike Gold Rush drew thousands of prospectors to the Yukon in Canada between 1897 and 1899 in search of wealth through dense forest and difficult terrain. The event drove intense migration and exploration, marking a period of struggle and expectation in North America. Jesse James was a controversial figure of the American West who gained fame after the Civil War by leading a group connected to actions against banks and trains. He was active between 1866 and 1881, and his death on April 3, 1882, marked the end of an era in the American Old West. The Mule Caravan of 1885 in Dakota Territory illustrates migration and settlement in the American West before North Dakota and South Dakota became states in 1889. These covered wagons were essential for transporting people and supplies over poor roads. Pies Headwind of the Potawatomi people appears in front of his farmhouse in Kansas in 1877, representing Indigenous presence adapted to the 19th century North American rural environment. This record shows cultural resistance after forced displacement. Albert Einstein visited Lincoln University, the first in the United States to offer higher education to black students, reaffirming his support for education. The Women's Royal Naval Women's involvement in defense-related industrial factories during World War II was crucial to the British effort. The old Tower of Salonika in Greece was used as a place of detention and punishment during the two masked figures In Palestine in 1915, the use of portable heat equipment. The coal mining worker symbolizes human effort under the demanding industrial conditions of Germany in 1958, when the sector was vital to the economy. His exhaustion and work marks reflect the hard labor that supported post-war reconstruction and the economic miracle. The freezing of a fountain in Detroit in 1906 shows the city's severe winters in the early 20th century, affecting daily life and urban conditions. A phenomenon in Detroit in 1919 caused the formation of an ice tower about 30 feet high from a public fountain that was left running for days during a hard. In 1999 in Las Vegas, a divorcing couple used an unusual method to divide their Beanie Babies collection, spreading the toys on the courtroom floor so the judge could supervise the split. The case shows the complexity of dividing valued collectibles. Pac-Man revolutionized electronic entertainment when it was released in 1980 by Midway, becoming one of the most influential arcade games of the decade. James Dean and Elizabeth Taylor were together at the 1955 Texas State Fair, a rare meeting between two stars of 1950s American cinema. Ramon Hervey II stood out in public relations by helping rebuild Vanessa Williams's career after her resignation as Miss America in 19. Greta Garbo, a star of classic 1930s cinema, symbolizes the elegance and mystery of Hollywood's golden age. Frank Sinatra, an icon of music and entertainment, appears in 19. Metallica, founded in 1981, stood out among the pioneering. The 1980 basketball camp brought together Len Bias and Michael Jordan. Arnold Schwarzenegger entered his first bodybuilding competition at age 6. The 3rd century mosaic in Tunisia shows the Roman practice of damnatio ad bestias, in which condemned people were placed before animals, here a leopard. This public punishment was used to reinforce imperial power and demonstrate authority. The work shows Tunisia as a province of the Roman Empire. Sandy Shaw stood out. Sophia Loren and Japanese actress Machiko Kyo walked together. Julie Newmar posed in 1961 for a promotional session as Lola in the musical Damn Yankees, a production that mixed comedy and women in swimsuits in California in 1945 reflect Caroline Munro stood out as an actress and model in the 1970s and 1980s, especially in suspense and science fiction films. Her image in a crochet bikini symbolizes the style of the era, consolidating. The Wilson's Draft. Bitter automatic machine innovated drink service in the 1960s when automation transformed bars in the United Kingdom. In Naples in the late 19th century, drying pasta in the streets If you enjoyed this video and want to support the channel, please use the Super Thanks tool below. Your contribution helps us keep bringing you amazing historical content. Thank you so much for your support, and see you in the next video.